dive again. We almost got it.
Hold the line, pull it starboard.
It's too strong. Watch out for the tail.
We need more hands over here.
Watch the stern. Hard right, let it go.
Keep the pressure on, don't let it dive!
It's pulling too hard. The cable's gonna snap.
Pull it harder on the left. Watch the tail, keep it moving. Secure the winch.
Watch the tail, watch the tail.
We got it, bring it in slow. Watch the tail, pull the net tighter.
I'm trying, it's too strong.
Watch out, clear a path. Heads up, push that one back. Watch the swing. Heave, get it over the deck now. Coming up, clear the area. Get the hook in quickly, hold the line. Okay, pull it up, watch the sway. Watch the tail! Get the net ready now! Don't let it get loose!
In the cold, racy weather, North Atlantic Ocean is constantly rolling. A giant steel fishing boat of men wearing waterproof protective suits quietly leaves the port, heading straight to the deep sea where the giant stingrays gather like clouds living on the ocean floor. On the deck, giant nets, steel winches, cables and even tight harpoons are ready. The eyes of each male fisherman wearing waterproof protective suits follow the sonar screen and the deep black sea, waiting for the moment when the giant stingrays appear. This journey is not just a normal fishing trip, but a fierce confrontation between the giant mechanical power of the steel boat and the fierce struggles of hundreds of giant stingrays writhing and swirling in the net and on the deck amidst the white foam. Each shot takes the viewer along the slippery steel deck, down to the dark seabed where the giant stones spin in a giant net trap, then back up to the roaring winch. The shaking of cables and the images of men in waterproof protective suits straining against the storm of struggling creatures. This is the intense, breathtaking story of a day of fishing for giant stones on the high seas, where every shake of the boat and every flap of the giant stone's wings can be felt right before the viewer's eyes.
I've never seen anything like it.
Get ready to deploy the nets. We can't let this opportunity slip.
Look at the size of them! Get the nets ready now!
¡Mantas gigantes! ¡Oh! ¡Oh! ¡Rápido! ¡Rápido!
Mayday! Mayday! This is the Stingray Fury. We have a massive school dead ahead. All hands brace for impact. Hard to port now.
Lock the clamps! Winch engaging! Stand clear!
Watch the tension on line 3!
As the giant steel ship moved deeper into the water area marked on the sonar map, where dense bright spots signal the movement of the giant Stingrays, every winch beat, every turn of the gears, and every movement of the men in waterproof protective suits became more tense than ever. Under the grey-blue sea, hundreds of giant Stingrays silently glided like giant bats in the air. But in just a moment, the whole school would fall into the giant net that was wide open behind the steel ship. When the net closed, the entire underwater space seemed to explode. The giant Stingrays writhed and flapped their wings, spinning in the foam and mud, causing the steel cables on the deck to shake violently. The winch roared, and the boys on the sea surface jerked up and down repeatedly. On deck, at the same time, the men in waterproof protective gear had to face the terrible weight of the net full of giant Stingrays. Each time the net emerged from the water, dozens of giant black flatfish bodies jumped up. Water poured down on the slippery steel floor, creating a chaotic picture that was both fierce and overwhelming. And when the net had not yet been pulled out,
we need more room
on
up
the
front.
side of
Move
the ship,
big one to zone
the harpoons
3.
continued to
got
be
it.
launched, hooking the giant Stingrays that were still hiding at the edge of the
2.5 meters.
school, pulling
Entering
them to the
data now.
surface in sudden
Clear
jerks,
for release.
where they continued to thrash around violently on the sea surface before being pulled up on the deck, completing the panoramic picture of a dramatic day of catching giant Stingrays in the middle of the ocean.
All right, these last few are secure.
Good. Let's get inside. I need that coffee.
Mira, look at that one! Sosténganlo, hold it steady. Ay, Dios mío, it's huge!
Look out for the tail.
Move it now!
Careful over there. Watch your footing.
As the last winches stopped, the steel cables ceased vibrating and the steel deck gradually cleared from the chaos of the writhing giant Stingrays. The giant steel ship quietly changed direction, turning its bow toward the harbor lights flashing on the distant
Cuidado con la
horizon.
cola.
Hundreds of giant Stingrays were now lined up in neat rows, the seawater still gurgling through the cracks of the deck, accompanied by the slower, heavier footsteps of the men in waterproof gear after a day of straining against the wind.
Best cup of the day.
Yeah, I
And
needed
the
that.
ocean's explosive power.
Long one, huh?
Overhead, the sky began to turn a deep purple, the last streaks of sunlight sliding across the water where the remaining giant Stingrays glided silently, a reminder that beneath the cold grey surface, life continued to circulate despite all the fierce fishing on deck. As the giant steel ship slowly moves into the calm waters near the shore, the sound also softens, leaving in the viewer's mind the echoes of a heavy journey, the sound of steel cables being stretched, the roar of winches, the sound of water falling like waterfalls, and the image of giant storms splashing violently under the nets and on the deck. It is not only a story of the strength, technique and tenacity
Lower
of
it
the men
slowly.
in waterproof protective suits on the open
Clear the
sea,
area.
but also a quiet reminder of the price to pay for every successful fishing trip in the ocean, where humans and nature always meet in confrontations both grand and thoughtful.